If you're attracted to this channel, there's a 90% chance that you're a perfectionist. You are entrepreneurial. You are looking to start your personal brand. You're looking to get on social media in a real way as a content creator over 40. And you grew up in the 80s and the 90s. And you were taught that you needed to be perfect. And so, what does it yield? A bunch of adults in the 2020s that are now perfectionists and just having a really hard time getting started. And so I'm not talking to just you when I'm saying this. I am also talking to me. It's not just like one finger pointed in one direction. There's definitely three fingers pointed straight back at me. And so this video is for both you and me, so that together we can go through this journey of building the habit of creating content, building our personal brands, and putting our message online in the form of organic social media posts. Yes, we feel cringy and it's anxiety inducing, but why does it feel this way? A big part of the puzzle is that we are a bunch of perfectionists. And although this might be seen as a strength in some cases, for me, it's been a real weakness. It's been something that's held me back. So I'm assuming that you must feel that it's holding you back. And that's why you clicked on this video. So if you're not so sure if you're a perfectionist or not, here are some traits that I found within myself that tell me that I'm a perfectionist. The very first one is that I tend to overplan. If I could show you right now how many tabs I have open on my laptop, and I mean just so that I could plan out this video for you today and yesterday and the day before, right? I have been thinking about this video for days. And guess what? It was just after I did enough thinking. I probably overthought this, that I came to this conclusion that today's video was going to address exactly the problem that I was having in the planning of this video, which is perfectionism. I am going through something right now that I really want to share with you because I didn't realize this was going to happen as I was starting to build this channel. I am starting to get really nervous about what videos I should put out next, what would be most helpful for you to actually help you grow and take steps towards your personal brand building journey. Yes, it's fun to watch entertaining things on YouTube. And I don't think that I'm part of the entertainment category on this platform. I think that I have educational material for you. So there's a lot of things that I want to teach. The video that I put out yesterday on how to use ChatGPT to SEO optimize and keyword optimize your YouTube video descriptions. I had to learn how to do a share screen in order to do that video. And I'm happy to be learning these skills so that I can teach this thing that I know how to do and make it simple so that you will actually go and do it. And so I spend a lot of time thinking and planning, and I think that's actually what I've been doing over the past 2 or more years, not creating content on social media, rather gathering equipment and apps and ideas and everything that I thought that I needed in order to create great content. All of that time, it was a lot of over planning and overthinking. I also know that it was me going through a lot of healing and a lot of nervous system regulation because I did go through something that was traumatic for me. I went through a really hard breakup at the end of 2021. And the relationship between me and my family got really difficult in that same year. And so I know that I was in burnout and I tried to push. And I just thought that I could overcome burnout because of everything that we find online. So I tried to overcome burnout and it did not work. So if you're somebody who is overthinking and over planning and you have excuses that feel really valid every single day, you could ask yourself a couple of questions. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're a perfectionist and that's why you're not getting started. You could be in a healing moment in your life, and that gets to be okay too. Are you burnt out from your job? Are you trying to get away from a situation right now? If you're answering yes to these questions, it might not be the perfectionism that's holding you back. It might be the need for self-care. It might be the need to just rest and regulate your nervous system and heal and do whatever you got to do to get back to ground zero, to stable before you start on this journey. I'm going to say that if you find that you are somebody who is being held back by perfectionism, then this is what you can do to start overcoming the perfectionism. The first thing is that you've got to realize that having done something perfectly in the past because of the way that you were conditioned only got you the thing that you wanted because it was being gate-kept by somebody of authority. And so now, as an adult, no one's gatekeeping anything from you at this point, telling you that you have to be perfect or else you can't have the thing. So realizing that the gatekeeper is not here anymore. They're not here to stop you from going after what it is that you want, to tell you and to judge you that what you're doing isn't good enough. The gatekeeper isn't here and isn't in charge of you. You get to decide that doing things imperfectly, that doing this journey imperfectly, content, speaking on camera imperfectly, is not just good enough. It is exactly what you need to be doing to be able to take that first step. So number one, you get to decide that imperfection is the standard you're going for instead of perfection. Number two, it's really hard to relate to perfect. Have you noticed this? When something is too perfect nowadays, it makes the thing not only aspirational, but also unattainable and kind of impossible to start going after. And what I mean by that is there's still creators out there, a lot of younger creators, who are doing things in a way that are so admirable and inspiring. But I know that as an older creator, I'm not going to be able to recreate that. I'm not going to be able to show up in that way because it's actually not authentically me. And so for me to pretend and to put a mask back on after I have done all of this healing work with myself, with my therapist, with my psychic, with my psychiatrist, after having done all of this inner work, why would I actually want to put a mask back on to pretend to be something that I'm not so that the internet and random people start falsely believing that I am perfect and worthy of views? I'm not about that. Neither are you. We made it to our 40s with all kinds of insecurities, and now is not the time for us to build up a whole new set of insecurities. Now's the time to really drop into some self-acceptance and to allow ourselves to show up imperfectly because it is really who we are, because it is exhausting to continue masking and to pretend to be people who we are not in order to get likes and subscribers on the internet. No, it's not even worth it. So in the name of relatability, let's shoot for imperfect. because imperfect is relatable. Imperfect is where we see a connection with each other, where we can see ourselves in another person's shoes because we have those same insecurities, those same faults. Like for me, I think this is why I started looking elsewhere for inspiration. I needed to find creators who I could actually emulate or who I thought that I was actually like or akin to, because thinking that there was no one out there like me trying to do this thing, it makes the cringe even cringier. It makes the embarrassment even more embarrassing. It spikes the anxiety and it makes it harder to just go out there and make a video and post it on the internet. Let's shoot for the imperfect because it actually is what keeps us relatable. I know we hear everywhere that we should embrace our imperfections, and I am not going to lie to you by telling you that I think I have embraced my imperfections, because I do stand by what I said, that I am a perfectionist. And so I am still embarrassed by the things that I think are imperfect about me. Instead of embracing the things that I think are imperfect about me, I think that I have just come to an acceptance. I don't know that I'm embracing them yet. I hope to get to the point where I am embracing my imperfections. At this point, accepting my imperfections, like accepting the sound of my voice, for me, big deal. Because I always thought my voice was too low. I can hear my Midwestern accent, especially when I watch myself back on video. And I get very insecure about that. I went through a whole teasing, bullying situation when I moved from Michigan to Florida because my accent is very Midwestern. There are a lot of things that are going to come up. You're going to see your imperfections when you start watching your playback and start editing your videos. And so I don't think it's really about learning to embrace your imperfections. Like that to me is shooting for perfectionism, like something perfect again. I think it's okay for us to just accept our imperfections for now and let it be okay that we're putting our imperfections out there on the internet, because if we wait until we can actually embrace our imperfections, we might never get out there. Something else that we're doing as Millennial and Gen X content creators is that we have a tendency to over-explain ourselves. We want to tell the entire story. We don't want to omit anything. We want to be really thorough. Why? Because we were raised by people who didn't let us ask the question why, but they loved to ask us the question why. So we had to come up with these really elaborate explanations as to why we wanted something, why we wanted to go somewhere, why we should be allowed to do something. And so we're really adept at getting in depth around our explanations. We tend to be over-explainers. And so we're not only over-explainers when we're trying to explain things to other people, we're over-explainers when we're trying to just understand things for ourselves. So this is what leads to the over-planning and the overthinking and the waiting and the procrastinating until everything is perfect. The equipment's perfect, the lighting is perfect, the idea is perfect, the script is perfect, the hook is perfect, everything is perfect before we get started. But just turn on your camera. This is your assignment. This was my assignment for today, so I'm passing it on to you. Turn on your camera and talk. Share a little piece of your personality with us. Because the thing that's going to build your personal brand is whatever pieces of your personality differentiate you from every other creator out there. The things that make your brand personal and not just strictly professional is that there is a human quality to it. It's relatable. I feel connected. And the way that I'm going to feel connected to you, the way that you're going to feel connected to me, is that we feel like we understand each other on a level deeper than whatever it is that we're teaching or whatever value it is that we're putting out there into the world. Our personal brands actually come through in our expression of whoever it is that we are, regardless of all of our imperfections, not regardless of all of our imperfections, including the imperfections. It's what humanizes us. It's what truly differentiates us from one another. It's what makes us likable and lovable. And it's what attracts our audiences to connect with us. So don't be afraid to trip over your words or to look a certain way on camera that you didn't think you looked, or sound a certain way that you didn't know you sounded, because every time you put a video out there, it's just a new chance to tell another piece of the story. We don't have to over-explain ourselves anymore, right? We can just give a snippet today, give another snippet tomorrow, and another snippet the next day. And let all of the snippets of all of the videos that we create and put out there be parts of the whole story that form us and who we are and our personal brands. So if you take anything away from this today, it's just allow yourself to start. Start imperfectly. Don't overplan. I found that I actually started filming videos when somebody had given me the permission to stop over planning, to stop over scheduling, overthinking. I was given the permission to just do it and race against the clock. And I don't know if you're the same as me in that aspect, where if I'm just racing against the clock, I'm going to get it done. You might need some other motivation, but take that permission. I'm going to pass it on to you. Take the permission to do this imperfectly. Ask questions. If you have questions, I'm going to try to answer as many questions as I can. I try to keep up with you guys in the comments, and sometimes it's a lot. But the reason why it's important for me to make these videos is because I have so much knowledge stored up from my 15 plus years working in media that I can't just hold it in any longer. And if I wait to set myself up so that everything is perfect, so that there's no construction happening outside, so that my script is perfect, so that I have everything in the right order, so that I keep your attention through this entire video, I would never actually get any information out there. So today, the assignment is just to get on camera, give us a piece of your personality, and post. Let's get started on these personal brands in a really real way. Gen X and the elder millennials, everybody 40 and up, it is the fastest growing demographic showing up here on YouTube, both in creators and in watchers of the platform. So today's the day. Don't let today pass you by. Let's get started. Let's do it imperfectly, and let's keep on moving forward like this is a practice and this is not a show. We're not here to perform. We're here to put a message out into the world, and we're here to build relatable, human-centered, purpose-driven personal brands. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.